Hotels have always been more than a place to sleep. In the great cities of the 19th and early 20th centuries, they were the heart of culture, society, and dining. Step through the revolving doors of a grand hotel in Chicago, New York, Boston, or Vienna, and you entered a world of marble floors, crystal chandeliers, and velvet-draped parlors. These hotels were showcases of modern luxury, but they were also laboratories of food, places where chefs experimented, menus dazzled, and recipes were born that would become part of culinary history. Hi, I'm Stephanie. This is Cooking 100-Year-Old Recipes. Welcome. Hit the like button and let's explore the backstory of many delicious recipes we enjoy even today that originated from these magnificent hotels throughout history. From the smoky kitchens of the Palmer House in Chicago came the world's very first brownie. It was created not for everyday indulgence, but for the refined palate of visitors to the 1893 World's Fair. In New York, at the Waldorf Hotel, a maitre d' known as Oscar of the Waldorf served a simple but elegant apple salad that would go on to grace dining tables for generations. In Boston, the Parker House Hotel redefined something as humble as bread, turning a dinner roll into a hallmark of elegance. Across the ocean in Vienna, a young apprentice baker invented a chocolate cake layered with apricot jam and covered in a glossy glaze, the Sacher Torte, which would forever link a hotel's name to one of the most famous desserts in the world. These recipes were more than food. They were symbols of sophistication, reflections of their time, and sometimes even strokes of culinary luck. They were designed to impress kings, presidents, opera stars, and society's elite. But they also filtered down, finding their way into kitchens and cookbooks across the globe. Today, when we make them at home, we're not just preparing a dish, we are tasting history. Each bite connects us back to a hotel dining room filled with candlelight, silver trays, and the hum of conversation. In this video, I will uncover the origins of some of the most iconic hotel recipes ever created. We'll look at the chefs who dreamed them up, the grand settings in which they were served, and why these dishes captured the imagination of diners for more than a century. Settle in, pour yourself a cup of tea, and let's begin a journey into the glittering world of hotel dining, where every recipe has a story and every story tastes delicious. Rumor has it that in the glittering age of the 1920s, when flappers danced to jazz and high society gathered for tea, the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in New York served a lemon pound cake that became quite a legend. The story goes that this moist golden loaf was not just another tea cake, but a signature of the Ritz's Palm Court, a sunlit sanctuary where guests sipped tea under chandeliers and conversed beneath palms and crystal. Whether this tale is fact or simply hotel love, it's easy to imagine how such a cake could captivate diners of the time. Pound cake itself was not new. It had been baked in Europe and America for centuries, usually dense, sturdy, and meant to last. But the Ritz-Carlton's version was something else. Light in texture, fragrant with fresh lemon, yet rich with butter. It embodied both elegance and simplicity, the very qualities that defined the hotel's reputation for refinement. At the turn of the 20th century, one of the world's most celebrated hotel chefs created a dessert that was as elegant as it was simple, the peach Melba. The story begins in London at the Savoy Hotel. where Auguste Escoffier, already a legend in the culinary world, sought to honor an equally legendary guest. The guest was none other than Australian opera singer Nellie Melba, whose voice filled opera houses across Europe and whose presence at the Savoy was an event in itself. Escoffier's creation was a study in restraint, showcasing the natural beauty of ripe peaches rather than hiding them under layers of pastry or heavy sauces. He began with tender peaches, lightly poached until their flavor deepened, then chilled them to preserve their freshness. To serve, he nestled the peaches atop vanilla ice cream, then draped them with a delicate raspberry puree, a combination that was bright, refreshing, and perfectly suited the glamour of its namesake. What made Peach Melba extraordinary wasn't complexity, but the way it captured the elegance of the age. At a time when hotel dining was becoming theater, Escoffier proved that refinement could come from simplicity. The colors alone, the pale golden peach, the creamy white ice cream, and the jewel red raspberry sauce were like an operatic aria on the plate, as dramatic and memorable as Nellie Melba's performances on stage. The dessert quickly spread beyond the Savoy, appearing on menus across Europe and America, cementing its place as one of the iconic dishes of hotel dining. Next on our journey through iconic hotel dishes, we head to Boston, to a hotel so historic it practically baked itself into American culinary tradition. The Parker House Hotel, established in 1855, was the gathering place for politicians, writers, and celebrities alike, from Charles Dickens to John F. Kennedy. And while it's known for elegance and New England charm, it also gave us something far more comforting: the soft, buttery Parker House roll. Legend has it that an irritable baker, after an argument with a guest, angrily tossed unfinished dough into the oven, folding the dough haphazardly before baking. The result? A golden tender roll with a slightly crisp top and soft, steamy center, that signature fold we still see today. The rolls quickly became famous beyond Boston. Their rich flavor and pillowy texture made them a favorite at Sunday dinners and Thanksgiving tables across America. Even today, you can find them on modern restaurant menus and in home kitchens, often brushed with melted butter and sprinkled with sea salt, just like they were over a century ago. The Parker House did not stop there. It also brought us another legend, the Boston cream pie, the official dessert of Massachusetts. So if you ever visit the hotel, you can enjoy both, sweet and savory, all in one meal. Next, we'll move from Boston to the glamorous coast of California, where another hotel put its name on a dish that defined early 20th century dining. From Boston's buttery rolls, we travel clear across the country to a glamorous seaside resort in California, where brunch, as we know it, was practically invented. The Hotel del Coronado in San Diego has long been a symbol of coastal luxury. It is still open today, and it's been renovated. Opened in 1888, it was one of the grandest wooden hotels ever built, a destination for presidents, movie stars, and anyone seeking oceanfront opulence. And somewhere between its sunlit dining rooms and the bustle of its gourmet kitchen, the now famous Eggs Benedict took on its refined, brunch-worthy form. Now, there are several claims to this dish's invention. Some say it was created at New York's Waldorf Astoria. Others point to Delmonico's, But the Hotel del Coronado helped make it an icon of resort dining. Picture the scene: poached eggs perched on toasted English muffins, layered with Canadian bacon and drenched in silky hollandaise, rich enough to rival the California sunshine. It was the perfect symbol of the Gilded Age: indulgent, elegant, and surprisingly approachable. Hotels across America rushed to add it to their breakfast menus, elevating the idea of morning dining into something ceremonial. And even today, Eggs Benedict remains the gold standard of brunch, a dish so beloved it's inspired countless variations: smoked salmon, avocado, crab, even vegetarian versions. From the glittering ballrooms of the East Coast to the sun-washed verandas of the Pacific, hotel kitchens shaped the way we eat, one legendary dish at a time. And our next stop? The Waldorf Astoria, where salads were anything but simple. After sunlit brunches on the California coast, we travel back east to one of New York City's grandest dining rooms, where fine hospitality met fresh innovation. In 1893, the newly opened Waldorf Hotel was the height of luxury. Its marble halls hosted high society dinners and lavish banquets, with menus written in French and dishes prepared under the watchful eye of the maitre d', Oscar Shirky, a man whose creativity helped define American fine dining. The story goes that Oscar wanted a dish that was light and refreshing, something elegant enough for the gilded tables of the Waldorf, yet simple enough to appeal to everyone. The result? A salad made from crisp apples, celery, and mayonnaise. Yes, just 3 ingredients. First served at a charity ball in the hotel's ballroom, it was an instant hit. Over time, the Waldorf salad evolved. Walnuts were added, then grapes, and later yogurt or whipped cream for a lighter touch. But at its core, it remained what Oscar intended: a dish that celebrated freshness and balance in a time when most menus leaned heavy and rich. Today, the Waldorf salad is still a symbol of elegance, a reminder that sometimes the simplest recipes are the most enduring. More than a century later, it continues to appear on hotel menus and holiday tables alike, a timeless bite of New York's culinary history. Tell me in the comments, have you ever had it? The next iconic hotel dish was born in the warm glow of New Orleans and set the dessert world on fire, literally. In 1951, in the kitchen of Brennan's restaurant, part of the city's famed Vieux Carré, head chef Paul Blanche and owner Ella Brennan created a dessert that captured the spirit of New Orleans itself. Indulgent, a little daring, and always ready for a show. They called it Bananas Foster. The dish was originally made to honor a local business leader named Richard Foster, but what began as a friendly tribute quickly became a sensation. Bananas sautéed in butter, brown sugar, cinnamon, and banana liqueur, then flambéed with rum tableside, created both a spectacular flame and unforgettable glow. Imagine the moment: lights dim, a pan sizzling, and the flicker of fire illuminating the faces around the table. The heat caramelized the bananas and sauce, which were then poured over scoops of vanilla ice cream. Sweet, smoky, and just a little dangerous, it was dessert as theater. More than 70 years later, Bananas Foster is still the crown jewel of New Orleans dining. It's been served to presidents, movie stars, and tourists from around the world. And no trip to Brennan's is complete without watching the flames dance across the skillet. a perfect blend of culinary craft and pure Southern showmanship. Our next stop takes us to the heart of Germany's Black Forest, a region of misty evergreens, cherry orchards, and a dessert so beloved it became the pride of a nation. The Black Forest cake traces its origins to the early 1900s and to the cafes and hotels of southwest Germany. Its namesake comes not from the forest itself, but the region's famous cherry brandy, Kirschwasser, a clear spirit made from sour cherries. The exact inventor is still debated, but many credit pastry chef Josef Keller, who worked at Café Agner in Bad Godesberg around 1915. His layered masterpiece combined a chocolate sponge cake, whipped cream, and cherries soaked in kirsch, topped with chocolate shavings, creating a flavor that was rich, tart, and indulgently balanced. By the 1930s, the Black Forest cake had become a symbol of German hospitality, gracing hotel dessert carts across Europe. Its striking layers of dark chocolate, white cream, and bright red cherries mirrored the Black Forest's own dramatic landscape. It was more than dessert, it was artistry on the plate. Even today, no celebration in Germany feels complete without a slice of this cake, a dessert born of local tradition, perfected in hotel kitchens, and cherished around the world. Tell me if this is one of your favorite cakes. While New Orleans gave us fire and drama, Chicago gave us something simple, rich, and utterly timeless. A dessert that became the blueprint for every brownie that followed. In 1893, the city of Chicago hosted the World's Columbian Exposition, a grand showcase of innovation, architecture, and culinary creativity. Just a few blocks away, at the opulent Palmer House, owner Bertha Palmer had requested for her pastry chef create a dessert that was elegant, portable, and easy to eat from a boxed lunch at the fair. The chef's answer was the brownie, a rich, dense chocolate dessert topped with crushed walnuts and a glossy apricot glaze. It wasn't quite a cake and not exactly a cookie, but it was instantly beloved. Sweet, compact, and indulgent, it became the perfect treat for the modern age. The Palmer House still serves that original recipe today, unchanged for more than 130 years. Visitors can taste the same decadent square that debuted during the Gilded Age, a bite of American ingenuity that turned practicality into pleasure. The original recipe is on the website, and I'll have it linked in the description if you'd like to make it yourself. If Chicago gave us the first brownie, Vienna gave us its elegant European cousin, a rich, sophisticated cake that became the pride of Austrian pastry tradition, the Sacher Torte. The year was 1832, and the Austrian statesman Prince Metternich wanted a new dessert for an important dinner. But fate and a sick head chef handed the task to a 16-year-old apprentice named Franz Sacher. Working under pressure, Sacher created something remarkable, a dense chocolate sponge layered with apricot jam and covered in a smooth dark chocolate glaze. The dessert was a hit, and years later, Sacher's son opened the Hotel Sacher in Vienna, where the torte became its signature offering. Guests from around the world, including royalty and artists, came to taste the cake that defined Viennese luxury. Like the Palmer House brownie, the Sacher Torte's secret lies in balance. Rich chocolate offset by the brightness of apricot. Both desserts, though born worlds apart, captured the same idea. indulgence elevated through simplicity. More than a century later, the Hotel Sacher still guards its original recipe, serving each slice with a dollop of whipped cream and a stamp of tradition. Two hotels, two versions of luxury, one American, one Austrian, both sweetened by apricot, both timeless. We end our journey not in a hotel dining room, but at a royal table, where dessert became both performance and celebration, a dish that sparkled with fire and elegance. Cherries Jubilee. The year was 1897. Queen Victoria was celebrating her Diamond Jubilee, 60 years on the throne, and the royal chef, a second appearance on this list, none other than Auguste Escoffier, wanted to create something worthy of the occasion. Working from the Savoy Hotel in London, he created a dessert that was simple yet majestic. Sweet cherries simmered in liqueur and brandy, then flambéed and served warm over vanilla ice cream. Like many dishes of the era, Cherries Jubilee was about more than taste, it was about the show. As the flames danced above the pan, it symbolized luxury, celebration, and the artistry of the modern kitchen. Guests gasped, waiters leaned back from the heat, and the dessert became an instant icon. Escoffier's creation inspired a wave of flambé desserts, including bananas Foster that we saw earlier in New Orleans. But none carried quite the same royal glamour. To this day, Cherries Jubilee remains a classic of high-end hotel dining, a nod to the era where chefs were performers and every course could end in applause. From the apricot glazed brownie of Chicago to the flaming cherries of London, these famous hotel dishes remind us that great food tells the story of its time, rich, inventive, and always meant to be shared. Which is your favorite, and which one do you have yet to try? Let me know in the comments. And if you'd like me to make one of these for the channel, let me know as well, and I will certainly consider it for an upcoming episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.